Hi there, welcome back to True Gooner. So in this hangout here, I'm here with Gary. How you doing?
You alright, mate? Doing good?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Okay, so last week when we had him on the podcast, we spoke about who was going to win the Champions League and Europa League. Now we're going to just focus on the Premier League, and it's turning out to be a really exciting end to the season because there's teams batting out for the title and the top four, which is great to see, and that's what we like to see. And of course, as this is an Arsenal fans channel, we'll be discussing Arsenal's chances on the top four and also the rest of the teams around us, the other top six teams. So far, Gary, I'll ask you what you made of the season so far in the Premier League.
Very, very exciting. One of the best ones in terms of quality, in terms of the team's quality, the competitiveness. I mean, we're going into the season where we have top four, four teams fighting for top four. We have two teams fighting the title. When it's not a 5 point gap or 6 point gap, it's 2, 3 points or 1 point in the title race. It's very, very exciting right now. One of the best seasons we've had for years. It's been a brilliant, brilliant season all round. Very, very good. Had some brilliant teams like Wolves coming through as well. From the Championship, they're seventh as well. A good competition for seventh and eighth. Wolves or Watford. So very exciting season so far. And loads of quality in it as well. It shows why the Premier League is the best league in the world.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an exciting season. Okay, what I've actually done is I've got a list of all the remaining fixtures for the top six, and I've actually done a little prediction as on what I think will actually happen. So, first of all, I think shall we start with the title race?
I don't mind, mate. If you want to go from front to back, or
yeah, we'll go from the title. We'll go from the title race. So first of all, we'll start with your team, Liverpool. Now, of course, you currently lie top of the league. City have a game in hand. You're 3 points clear of them. What do you make of your chances? Do you actually reckon this could finally be your year?
Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, I know we've had a few draws recently. Very disappointing draws. I think we've had, we drew to Everton or United, West Ham and Leicester, and those are the ones where we dropped 8 points and 8 very important points. But you're going to drop points. You're going to have a little patch, and through that patch we haven't lost any games, which has been very important. I mean, when you go away to United and get a point and you're disappointed, it just shows the season you've been having. Everything away is not difficult, not easy to go to, and
not easy.
Obviously, the disappointing ones for me were the Leicester and the West Ham games because we're expected to win those games. We win a goal. We win a goal.
West Ham away is difficult.
Yeah, it is a difficult game. Of course, every game is difficult. There's no easy games. You just showed. We just scraped a win against Fulham away, who are basically relegated. It's nothing. No games are easy at all. But we were a goal up, and you expect us to go win to see that game through. But we got a point. But it's better than loss. But I think we can definitely win. We can definitely win the title. It's just about if we go on to win we've got 7 games left.
You got 7 left. Yeah,
winning all 7 games. All 7 games we are capable of winning. If we can go into that, we've got games like Southampton, Cardiff, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Wolves, Chelsea, Spurs. Some tough games there, but we're capable. If we can go on and run, we can definitely go on to win this league 100%. It's so exciting for us because we're through basically to the Champions League semi-final if we beat Porto, and we're in a title race. So it's such an exciting time to be a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, definitely. I really actually hope you do beat Tottenham and Chelsea. Those are 2 games I really definitely do hope you win.
Yeah. But we are quite strong at Anfield, to be honest with you, this season. Yeah, we haven't lost a game there in the league since April 2017. So it just shows the dominance of how Anfield has become a fortress on the club, and it's brilliant to see this progression every single year. We're just getting better and better, and we're just seeing progression, and that's all I can ask for as a Liverpool fan, because some fans are getting way too, I would say, greedy, but we have to kind of look at it and think. At the start of the season, what did we say? We said that we want a title challenge at least. We want to be in and around there, and we're top of the league right now. Obviously, with the City got a game in hand, but we're top of the league with 7 games remaining, and that's all I can ask for. We're in a title challenge, we're making progress, and that's all I can ask for. Whether we win it or not, we'll be in the 92, 94 point mark. And if we lose the title by that,
you reckon?
Yeah, if we lose the title by 92, or if we lose the title and we've got 92, 94 points, how can I fault any of the players? How can any of us fault any of the players? Because that would any other season that would be a title winning season.
Yeah, well, I think if you get over 90 points, then you've done very well.
Yeah.
Over 90, yeah. Then if you get that, then you definitely deserve to win a title.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it'll be around 95, 96 points to win the league, to be honest with you. That's expectations of the league this year.
Yeah, of course, I have done the predictions. I'll let you know them at the end. We'll just talk about the teams for now. So next we'll talk about is Man City. Now, if you look at their running, I actually think their running is much easier than yours. Of course, they have still got Man United to play away.
I think they've got a few tough ones about because
they've got Tottenham. Tottenham at home, obviously, is going to be difficult.
I'm looking at the fixture list right now, and I think it's more difficult to R1, to be honest, because they got.
You think so?
I think so because they got City, they got United away, they got Spurs at home, they got United. So they got United and City in the space of 4 days.
United and Tottenham, you mean?
Huh?
United and Tottenham.
Yeah, United and Tottenham in the Premier League in the space of 4 days. They've also got Palace away sandwich between their Champions League games against City, which
that's not easy.
Exactly, going to Sellers Park is not an easy game. Fulham away, Cardiff home, they'll be fine in that. Burnley away, they could be fine for their lives. Same with Southampton away with us. I look at that as a difficult game against Southampton because
that is difficult. Yeah,
they're fine for their lives, and they nearly took points of United. They beat Spurs. That's gonna be a difficult game for us as well. And when you're in a title race or when you're fighting for something in your top four, every game just because that extra bit of pressure on it, and it just makes it a bit more difficult. Even Brighton away, Leicester, they should be fine, but I think they will definitely slip up. They will definitely drop points, but it's for us. We have to be there fast to capitalize. And right now, I'm very positive with how we're doing. We bounced back from Everton away with a disappointing draw. We bounced back with a win against Burnley, a fantastic win against Bayern, and a very important win against Fulham. So now it's important that we just keep on going. I would have liked to be top of the league with the same amount of games because obviously if City win their game in hand, which is United away, but if City win their game in hand, for example, it could be Cardiff at home. It could be against anyone, to be honest with you. You can call a game in hand against anyone. If it's 11 points and they win the game, they're ahead of us by 1 point. I would have liked for us to be ahead just so we can have that a bit more breathing space. But maybe sometimes chasing the team can be a bit more better. It releases a bit of pressure. I'm not too sure, but for us now, it's just 7 games. Let's push on. Let's keep on going. Let's see where we can go.
Yeah, of course. Let's actually talk a little bit more about Man City because obviously they've just been on a fantastic run.
Yeah.
When you looked back in December time, I think weren't you like 7 points clear of?
Yeah, we were. Well, we had the chance to be 7 clear in January. If we beat Leicester, we were 5 clear in January. In February basically. Going into February 5 clear. If we beat Leicester, we'd have been 7 clear. We had the chance to be 7. We were 7 clear in December, and if we beat City, we would have been 10 clear if we beat City. Obviously, they beat us. We narrowed it to 4. They lost to Newcastle, then we drew to Leicester. But I mean, since they lost to Palace and Leicester back to back, they've won every single game apart from one, which was against Newcastle. They won every single match. So that's an impressive achievement, isn't it? So, but they're going for it. It's brilliant for the league. It just shows the quality of the league. All 4 teams, English teams, all 6 teams.
6, yeah.
4 in the Champions League and 2 in the Europa League. It shows how strong the league is going. And City have been brilliant. Have been brilliant this season. But I'm happy with how we're pushing them as well. We're not letting.
You're giving them a serious challenge. This is just what I want Arsenal to be doing. This is what I've said all the years. What we want Arsenal to be doing is at least giving them a big challenge down to the wire. It is all you can ask for.
If you give an effort, this is our first year on the clock of challenging, and I don't right now. It's not like I expect to win the title. You can't expect to win. I don't even see.
No, of course you can't.
I don't think City expect to win the title. I think City. I think they're just going to give it. You just have to take it game by game and see where it gets you. None of these teams expect to win the title. It's all going to be through one game at a time. It's just through us fans are hoping for it. We can't expect anything right now.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, let's move now into the next 4 teams. So that's now the title race done, and of course I'll let you know.
You got Spurs in the title race because a couple of weeks ago they were classified, didn't it?
They were never in the title race. We all know that they were never in the title race. So let's talk about Arsenal now. So obviously we've been on a fantastic run lately. We've only lost to Man City last February, but apart from that, we've done really well. We've won all our other games, and I'm looking at our running, and we haven't actually got to play any more of the top six, but we have actually got some hard away games. So obviously, Wolves away, Everton away, Watford away, Leicester away, Burnley away. That's 5 away games we've got.
And
So
3 home.
3 home games against Newcastle, Crystal Palace,
Yeah, I was having
Brighton. Yeah. So I'm actually looking at Arsenal, and I'm like saying that I really think top 4 is in our hands. I really
100%.
think. Do you think so?
Yeah, let me just quickly get the fixtures out. I mean, yeah, you got some. As you got Newcastle home. I expect you to win that.
Yeah, that we should.
Yeah, when you beat Newcastle, I expect like what will be massive for you if you can go to Everton and beat Everton. That would be a massive statement.
That's going to be a tricky game.
We can go to Everton away and win. We can go to Wolves away and win. It'll be a confidence booster for the team, for you of course, and then you'd have Napoli. And what will be tough is a Watford game sandwiched in between the Napoli.
Yeah, that's difficult. That's going to be difficult.
Then you got Palace. There's some tough games at Wolves away, Leicester away in the space of 5 days. There's some very, very tough games there. But
and Burnley on the last day. Hopefully they'll be safe.
Burnley could be in a religation battle. So, take nothing for granted. Even though there's no top 6 games there, there's some very difficult games. But they're not games. They're difficult games, but they're winnable games if you're on it. If you play to the standard everyone knows Arsenal can play at, you win those games 100%. So
Definitely.
It's just about if you can turn up on the day, and that's all that matters really. Because if Arsenal can turn up the day, they have the quality in players to go and win those games and be in top 4. You got the best chance to get in the top 4 here, and if
I agree,
that'll be a massive achievement for you. Then you could obviously with Emery, that'll be a big achievement by him, and then you can just start to rebuild and keep on making Arsenal a stable club in the top 4, because that's what's important. That's when Klopp came in.
Yeah, we got to get back into that.
It's not about making a title challenge straight away. It's about making your club a stable team in the Champions League, like Klopp has done for a couple of years, and now we're going for title challenge. Fourth for 2 years in a row, and then straight away we go to the title challenge. It's about stability. I think Emery,
that's what you want, to show progression from that. Just get top 4 as just a start, and then build on from that, and then eventually get back to where we want to be, challenging for the title.
Yeah, I do think you have a big chance to get top 4.
Yeah, we definitely do. But also, you've already said we've got 5 of tough away games. We have been better away from home this season, but we're still struggling quite a bit away from home, because we lost to West Ham, we drew with Brighton, we didn't beat City, lost to City, didn't even beat United away, lost to Southampton away. So we are still struggling away from home. But however, we did beat Bournemouth away. Yeah, Palace away. So it's definitely not. I definitely wouldn't class this as a very easy run-in, but even though we haven't got to play any of the top 6, but it's a better run-in than what we possibly could have asked for. But and also, I think it's very crucial that most of our star players stay fit. Do you think that's also crucial, because our back depth isn't so great, especially we've got Europa League in there as well.
I heard Socrates got injured during the international break. I don't know if it's true or not.
I heard it's a slight knock, but I don't think it's too serious. And I hope it isn't, because that would be a big miss.
Yeah, that would be a big miss. I mean, him and I thought Koscielny's done really well recently when he's coming.
Yeah, he's really come back.
He's received a lot of criticism, but to be quite honest with you, he's stood up and reacted well to his injury. So
he has
been an important player for you. So definitely injuries. You need to like Lacazette to stay fit. Aubameyang or Ozil, Torreira. But I think the defense is the main one, really. Socrates.
Torreira's going to be missing for the first 2 against Newcastle and Everton.
Oh yeah, because he got the red card against Tottenham, didn't he?
Yeah, which he shouldn't have done, but never mind. Let's not go back on that.
And but I think if you keep the defense fit, and you need the stability in that defense, keep the back 4 the same for as much as you possibly can, because it's important to have a stable back 4 for each other. They play each other, because that's when you need the chemistry in the team. With the goalkeepers, I thought Leno's been very, very good recently.
Yeah, brilliant.
He's proven. I thought he's proven me wrong as always. I thought, I never said he wasn't. And I thought he's been a very good keeper. I didn't think he was going to be this good, to be honest with you, because he really stepped up in these last few weeks against I remember Southampton. He had a good game. Spurs had a brilliant game. United had a brilliant game. You know, City as well away from home had a
Yeah,
brilliant
he
game.
did.
So you know, he's stepped up and done really, really well.
Yeah. Now we're going to go on to Tottenham, a team who I don't like to talk about at all, but they are still very much in this top four race. Definitely not in the title race, definitely not. But they're only now 1 point ahead of us, and yeah, people will say they'll go for the title before, which they really were. They're just putting on, as usual, that pressure. But let's actually talk about their
Well,
running, and they actually get big.
If Tottenham are still in the title race, then you are as well.
Yeah, exactly. But basically, they're going into this new stadium next week against Crystal Palace, and I actually really think that could also play into effect. And if you actually look at their running, I think they've got extremely tough running because they've still got to play Liverpool times. They've also got to play West Ham at home, and that's never an easy game. Bournemouth away is tricky for them, and when they move into that new stadium, Crystal Palace will go there first, and they've also got games against Brighton and Huddersfield, West Ham and Everton there, and I actually think that's difficult because also when you go into that new stadium as well, like it did with us, it takes time first of all to get you settled in there, and also that team you're playing against will also always want to be that factor. They'll raise it to be. They want to become that mark, to become that first team that wins there. So, what do you reckon? Spurs.
Well, I mean, they got Liverpool away, City away. In the Premier League, obviously, the games in the Champions League as well. I'm not too sure really. I mean, I don't think. I do think that we'll beat them. I think City will probably beat them as well at the Etihad. But I'm looking at they got 5 home games and 3 away. You got 5 away and 3 home, but they've got obviously tough ones against us and City. I'm looking at Brighton at home. I think they'll probably win that.
They should win that one.
Huddersfield at
and
home.
They should win against Huddersfield. Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Huddersfield at home, I think they'll win that. I mean, it's Palace. I mean, it's a weird one because Palace will be. Palace aren't the Palace aren't very good when they're expected to win, because they like to play without the ball. They like to play counter-attacking football, and that's why it could suit Palace as well. And going to the new stadium, it could be Spurs on a high, or Palace will be. I think Spurs will be in a high. I think Spurs should probably win that game. To be quite honest with you. I don't know. I'm not too sure because I think Spurs have a good chance of getting top 4, even though they've got a few tricky games in there, like Bournemouth and away from home. Bournemouth are a decent team. Everton, haven't been the best, but you never know. I don't know. I have a feeling that Spurs might get top 4. I think Spurs and Arsenal here have a good chance of getting top 4. Really, I think United have tougher games.
However, there also is that fact that they're moving into the new sports first. It will take them to settle in, and obviously, and also that team that they're playing against will want to be that, but will do everything to try and be that first team that wins.
I think they should. I think they shouldn't have been allowed. I think they should have just been.
Wrong, because you're not allowed to have two home grounds in the same stage in the same season. That's wrong.
They should have had to stay. They should have had to stay at Wembley. That's what they should have had to stay at Wembley for the rest of the season, and that's it. If they wanted to play their games in Europe in their stadium, that's fine, but not in the Premier League. The Premier League, they had to stay. They should have had to stay at Wembley. That was not allowed. That shouldn't be allowed. Wembley should have been their stadium for the whole rest of the season. They can't just move in, with 5 games to go. It's just an unfair advantage, isn't it? So that was I don't get that really, because I'm seeing Coventry getting banned because they don't have a stadium at the minute as well. So why don't Spurs get deducted points? Why don't Spurs get any sort of punishment?
No, it's stupid. I don't know. Don't get me started with that, because I just seriously think because they have all these English players, so all the media will love them, and it's just But yeah, it's definitely not right. But let's move on. Let's move on to Man United. Now, Man United have obviously they had a disastrous start under Jose Mourinho, but since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, they've really risen until the last 2 games when they lost against us and lost against Wolves, and now they find themselves 2 points behind us and 3 points off a top four, off a top three place. And looking at their running is also that's quite difficult as well, because they've got to play Man City, they've got to play Chelsea, they've got to go to Wolves again,
Yeah.
and they've got to go to Everton.
They got to
play West Ham at home, but
Watford. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think they'll probably beat Chelsea at home. They got 2 nice games: Huddersfield away and Cardiff at home. I think they'll probably win their last 3: Chelsea, Huddersfield, Cardiff.
Yeah, the last 2 games they really should
I think they'll also beat Chelsea at Old Trafford.
Before then,
I think they'll beat Watford at home. I think they'll beat West Ham. They could possibly beat Wolves if they're on the day. They'll beat Wolves. You know, if they play to how they've been playing recently, they'll beat Wolves comfortably. You know, that's the thing. But it just depends what United turns up on that day. I think West Ham they'll probably beat them as well. But you can never tell, mate. You know what I mean? It's just this is the beauty of sport. You know, they could probably beat Man City and they could probably lose to Huddersfield, and that's football for you. You never know what can happen next. So, but you know, again, United have a chance if they play well, if they're on their game, they have a chance to get top 4. This is it's great to see. I mean, even Chelsea, if they step it up, they've got a chance. They're only 3 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely. That's anyone.
I don't think they'll get top 4 because they've been awful and they're gonna drop many more points. But if they step out right now, they've got some nice fixtures to get in the top 4, even though I don't think they will. But I think United have a good chance as well. I do think Arsenal and Spurs might pip it, or maybe Arsenal United. I think Arsenal definitely get into it now. I think they're hitting form at a good time. I think they're hitting good. I think they're hitting form at a good time. At a very important time when players like Mkhitaryan, he's been in very good form. Lacazette, you know, Ozil's starting to get back into the scene, into the team. So I think Arsenal get through. I think it's just Tottenham United, to be quite honest with you. But don't write Chelsea as well, man. They're only 1 point.
Oh no. Well, let's talk about Chelsea's running briefly. Now, obviously, they've been on a terrible run of form, and they've got a very split fan base at the moment. Someone's Sarri in, someone's Sarri out. It's just like when we had Wenger in the last few seasons. I think it's just like that. And they also have Europa League, but looking at their running is also very tough as well, because they've got to go to Anfield, they've got to go to Old Trafford, and West Ham at home. That's not an easy game. And the last game, it's Leicester away. That's going to be tricky. So, and plus they've got a better chance, I feel, in the Europa League. So, do you actually reckon they have a better chance of getting top 4 or through the Europa League?
They've got a better chance of getting top 4 in the Europa League, because I think if Napoli beat Arsenal and they get through, I think Arsenal probably beat them. I think Arsenal probably beat Chelsea over 2 legs, if I'm honest with you. And I want to find, never know what happens. But if Arsenal,
we can't play Chelsea until the final. They've done the semi-final draw. We can't.
Oh yeah, you're against Valencia or Villarreal, aren't you?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about the draw. Yeah. So I mean, I thought Arsenal would have beaten Chelsea if it was in a 2-leg semi-final. In a 1-off final, you never know what can happen. That's it's different in a 1-off final. It's only 1 game. I think Chelsea have a better chance of getting in Europa League. I think that's the only reason why they haven't sacked Mauricio Sarri yet, because I think they would have sacked him.
I think so too.
At Europa League and thinking, you know what, we have a good chance of getting into the Europa League. And I think as soon as if they go out to Slavia Prague, which I don't think they will, but if they go out to Frankfurt or whatever in the semi-final, I think they'll sack him straight away, or they'll just hold on to until the end of the season, because I don't think I think if they get Champions League, they'll probably keep him. But if they don't, I think he's gone at the end of the season probably.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I've actually done a prediction. I'll let you know now, and let me know if you agree with them. So, in 6th place, I've got Chelsea here. I think they'll beat Brighton. I think they'll beat Cardiff. I've got them to have a draw against West Ham and Liverpool. I've got them to beat Burnley. I've got them to have a draw against Man United, and I've got them to beat Watford, and I've got them to draw against Leicester. So I've got them in 6th place.
So you got them to beat Cardiff, you got them to beat Brighton, draw against West Ham, and they draw against Liverpool?
Yeah, I said draw against Liverpool.
Okay. And win against Burnley, lose against United, did you say?
I said draw against United. I think that would also be a draw.
Okay.
So I've got them to have 4 wins and 4 draws.
Okay, I've got them to win against Cardiff, win against Brighton, win against West Ham, lose against Liverpool, win against Burnley, lose against United,
Yeah.
win against Watford, and I've got them to draw against Leicester.
Yeah. Okay, now viewers, just to let you know, these are only our opinions, of course. If you don't agree with them, of course, let me know in the comment section below. Just remember that.
Mm.
So, and in fifth place, I actually got Spurs,
Yeah,
and I've got them to beat Crystal Palace. I think they'll win that one. I think they'll lose against Liverpool. I think Liverpool will beat them.
yeah,
I think they'll beat Brighton and Huddersfield.
yeah. Same here.
They'll lose it. They'll lose against City.
Yep.
I think they'll get a draw against West Ham because West Ham always like to make it difficult when they play
I've got them to beat Brighton, West Ham, a draw against Bournemouth, and Everton win. I do think Spurs will get the ball.
Yeah, I've got them to win at Bournemouth, but I've actually got them to draw against Everton as well. So I've got Tottenham to win 4, draw 2, lose 2. That's
That'll be 40.
because they've got a really difficult run in, and then you all the teams with the run in, I think they've got the hardest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, away from home, I think that our game against Spurs will be tougher than they'll be against Chelsea. I think Chelsea away from home are just awful against the big teams, against everyone really. I think we're gonna. I think to be honest with you, I think we're gonna just destroy Chelsea at Anfield. I can't see them getting anything. I'll be very surprised if they get anything.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, I don't think they've been beaten by.
However, Chelsea will also want to raise it against you because I'm not sure they'll want you to win the league, but
Yeah,
they'll
but
raise it against you.
Yeah, I don't think Sarri has that sort of mentality like Mourinho had when he came. I mean, he played the B team, he still beat us 2-0. You know,
Oh yeah.
I don't
That
think Sarri
reminds me of that game.
I don't think he's tactically at that level, and I think he's been beaten by City, been beaten by Arsenal, beaten by Spurs, beaten by everyone basically in the top 6. And I don't think they'll be beaten by Everton as well, beaten by Bournemouth, being beaten by everyone. So I think we'll beat them comfortably.
Yeah.
I think Spurs will be a tough game for us. But I think Chelsea. I think these games for Spurs and Chelsea will be massive. If they can get something against United or Liverpool, same as Spurs with City and Liverpool, I think that'll be a big boost for them going into the next few games. But I've got Spurs to finish in top 4, I think.
Oh, fair enough. In fourth place, I've actually got Man United because I've actually predicted United to win against City. I actually reckon at Old Trafford they'll beat City, and
I hope so.
I think they'll beat Watford. I think they'll beat West Ham at home. I think they should beat Huddersfield and Cardiff. But I've got them to draw it away at Wolves, Everton, and against Chelsea. So I've got them to win 5, draw 3. So I actually think they've got the second best run in. So
yeah. I've got them to beat Watford. I've got them to draw against Wolves. I've got them to beat West Ham. I've got them to win against Everton. I've got them to I've got them to draw against Everton. I've got them to draw against City. I've got them to win against Chelsea, win against Huddersfield, and win against Cardiff.
Yeah, fair enough. With Arsenal, I put us in third place. Of course, I actually reckon we should do this, and I really think if we don't make top 4, then seriously we don't deserve it. But if you look at this running, that I predicted us to win 5, draw 3. I think I predicted us to win the 2 away games. I think we will win. Our Burnley away because I think they'll be safe by the end of the season. So I think we'll win that. And I've also said we will win away at Watford.
Okay, well,
But I predicted draws against Wolves, Everton, and Leicester, mainly because at Leicester we never do well there.
No, you don't.
Everton away is always going to be tricky, and I now think because they beat Chelsea,
yeah,
I think they will give them momentum because Everton. One thing about them is they do usually end the season well.
It depends. Yeah, that is true. I mean, even remember under David Moyes back in the they used to start poorly and then end it well. I think it depends on how you catch Everton. If you catch them on a bad day, you can absolutely destroy them.
Oh, definitely, just like we did last season. We put 5 passes last season.
They beat Everton 6-2 at the Goodison. Yeah, it depends on how you catch them, and you beat them 5-2 as well, didn't you? So they can. It depends on how you catch them. But I think I've gone for Arsenal to win against Newcastle, Arsenal to win against Everton. I've gone for Arsenal to draw against Watford. I've gone for Arsenal to beat Palace, draw against Wolves, win against Leicester, win against Brighton, and win against Burnley. So 6 wins and 2 draws.
Oh well, I'll take that. I'll take that right now. But The home games, we all expect us to win. Newcastle at home,
Yeah,
Crystal Palace at home, Brighton at
you've
home.
got Premier League winning title
Yeah,
form,
yeah,
at home form. Sorry, I mean
yeah,
you're literally 1 point.
definitely.
You're 1 point behind us. We're the same exact points. We picked up at home. We picked up 41 points at home. You've also picked up 41. We played a game less,
Definitely.
but it just shows how strong you're off
Yeah.
home form. You know, the Wenger last year, you were brilliant at
We were
home.
still very strong at home. Yeah, we were.
Yeah, you look at the way form and just you're sitting in 10th in the league with 19 points from 14 games. That's something that you need to improve on,
Yeah.
but it will come.
But we do have to go to some of those places and win because that will really also define. We can't not win at any of those grounds. If not, then it'll just be very difficult. But I've said we will draw against Leicester, Everton, and Wolves. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong because I hope we win those. But to be realistic, I've said 3 draws away from home, 2 wins away from home, and we should win our 3 home games. But that's what I think will happen, and I think we'll get 3rd place. Now, going to the top 2. Now, this is obviously where I think we'll go and win who I think will win the league.
Uh-huh.
In 2nd place, I'm sorry, but I've got you guys because I seriously think there are a few hard games which I think, and also because you haven't really been through this kind of pressure where you have a few times and you haven't really coped with it well. I think this will also test you on how you can cope with pressure because you haven't won it for so long. And I put Liverpool to win at Tottenham. I've said you'll definitely win at Cardiff and Huddersfield. Those 2 I expect you to win. And I think you'll win at Wolves, but I've actually got you to slip up to draw against Southampton, draw against Chelsea, and draw away at Newcastle. Newcastle and Southampton you don't usually seem to do well at, and they are tough places. And Chelsea, I just think because I still think they'll do everything they can to try and spoil it for you.
Right.
That's why I've got you second. What do you think?
Well, I've got us for winning against Tottenham. I've got us winning against Southampton. I've got us winning against Chelsea, winning against Cardiff, winning against Huddersfield, drawing against Newcastle, and I've got us winning against Wolves.
Oh, if you do that, then you should
definitely. I don't think. I think Newcastle is a tough game, but maybe Rafa can hook us up and give us those 3 points. But
there is also that as well. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Cardiff, I think will beat Huddersfield. I think will beat Wolves. I think will beat. I mean, I hope Wolves can beat Watford because they'll have the FA Cup final 6 days later after that. So I'm hoping they can rest players against us on the last day.
There is also that as well.
You said draw against Southampton, yeah?
Yeah, I reckon that's difficult for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, mate. Listen, if we play to our standard and if we play to the best of our abilities, we can win every single match. Every single match.
You can.
If we win every single match, we're going to win the league. It's as simple as that. We will win Leeds City. We'll drop points into United or whatever. If we can beat, I think. Look, I'll tell you now. If we can win our next 3 games now, I've obviously got the Champions League games, so we'll leave that out. If we can win against Spurs at home, Southampton away, and Chelsea at home, those 3 massive games, I do think that from then on, if we've got 9 points, I think we'll go on to win the Premier League title because I think we've got Cardiff, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Wolves. I think we're just gonna breeze through those games. I honestly think that if we win those next 3 games, we've got a massive chance of winning the league. I'm looking at these next 2 home games against the top 6 and a relegation fight against Southampton away from home, and I think we're going to be very and we're going to be in a very good position if we can win those next 3. But it's just all down to how if we're out for it, if we're ready for it. And I think at the moment with the signs I'm seeing is that what we are. We had a few little draws, but I think that's behind us now. And if we can beat Spurs again, just take it 1 game at a time and just keep on going, keep on fighting with these last 7 games and plus the Champions League.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You just have to take games 1 game at a time. You can't look ahead of the schedule. You just have to take it game by game because there is no easy game. Well, unless if you're playing Huddersfield, Cardiff, and Fulham, then I just don't think there's any easy game.
I mean, even Fulham, mate. Fulham, we needed a penalty to beat Fulham.
True. No disrespect to those teams, by the way, but I would expect you should really win those.
We know Fulham are good. Yeah. It was a tough game. We needed a penalty to beat them 2-1 away. And this is what I'm saying by the Premier League. City could drop away to Fulham. we could drop away to Cardiff. We could drop away to Huddersfield or home. It doesn't matter. You know, we I know we won't, but I don't. Well, I don't think we will. But you know, it can happen. And that's the thing about it. You don't know when your next slip up. But who knew that City were going to lose against Newcastle away from home? No one. No
And
one.
also Crystal Palace at home
Palace,
beat them.
Palace at
I
home,
never saw
Leicester
that.
away in
Yeah,
the space of 4 days. No one knew that. That's what I'm saying.
no one did.
It's this point because you know we've had so many draws. That's the problem. We've only lost one game. I mean, I did say to you. I think I said to you after we beat you 5-1 in December. I said if we can get past City away, I think we'll go invincible. If we can get past City away with at least a draw, I think we'll go invincible. And
Oh come on! Oh, that's like
we've
that's
only,
really difficult.
yeah, but that's I said we've only lost one game at the minute. And City away, I told you if we can get past City away in January, I thought we would have gone invincible, and we haven't lost a game since then. And that's the only tricky one.
No, you haven't actually. You haven't actually. That's a good point.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll
That's
lose.
the only game we've lost.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll lose any more games this season. I think we'll end up with that one loss against City, and I would have liked to go invincible.
Yeah.
I'd rather if we're not going to win the league, I'd rather not go invincible because going invincible and not win the league that would have just been awful.
Yeah, that is really difficult. I never thought Arsenal would do it until April time, and then I thought, yeah, actually, I reckon we can. When back in those days, in those glory days.
Yeah.
But now, I've actually said I actually still think Man City will win it. I think they'll win it again because, firstly, if you look at their running, I think it's not about running for them, and also I still do think they have the best squad in the Premier League. I don't think even you can. I don't think even you can deny that.
By far, mate. I mean, if you look at the squad completely, they're just levels above everyone. I mean, I think we have a brilliant first 11 when we have everyone fit. But as a squad, and you look at the options that we have to bring on the bench. Sturridge,
it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
It's not the best, man. I mean, look, we have Sturridge to bring off the bench. He does absolutely nothing. You know, Origi's come up now. He's had a few nice little cameo performances, but it's not Leroy Sané. It's not Real Mara. It's not Gabriel Jesus. It's not these sort of quality players that they can bring on. You know, they just have Mara as a 60 million player on the bench, just there. You know, and we don't have that. We don't have the best options, and that's why we need to invest in summer again. But I think City do have a tough running, to be honest. I think they have a tough one than us. I do think they have I think they've got tougher away games as well.
I think the Man United away game is definitely the hardest. And
Palace away, I think, is tough as well. You know,
yeah, that's quite difficult.
There's a few tough ones there. Burnley away is equivalent to Southampton away. You know, both
that's no picnic.
Both fighting for relegation. You never know what can happen. But I've got them to win against Fulham. I've got them to win against Cardiff. I've got them to. I actually had them to lose against United as well. I had them to lose against United, to be honest with you, mate. I had them to draw against Palace, lose against United, win against Burnley, win against Leicester, and a win against Brighton. I had them to lose against United. Sorry, I said United with the draw, but I think United will beat them at City. At Old Trafford, sorry. I think they'll draw it away at Palace because there'll be sandwiches in between the Spurs games, and then I think they might have that eye on that. So, yeah. I think they'll probably take. I've got them here 5, 8. I've got them having 6 wins, 1 draw, and a loss, and I think we will win the league.
Do you think that'll be enough? Do you think that'll be enough to win you the league?
Yeah, 5 wins. If we get 7 wins, no, if we get 6 wins and a draw, and I think if they get 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, I think we do win the league. I think by a point. I think I've got us getting 95 points, and I think I've got City getting 94.
Yeah. I've got them. I think Man United will beat Man City at.
Yeah, so do I.
At their place. I think they'll draw against Crystal Palace. Yeah. But I actually reckon they'll win all the others.
Yeah, I've got the exact same, mate. I've got the exact same.
But same. I've just predicted you to slip up at 3 instead of 1. That's all.
Yeah, I think if we do slip up, I think it'll be at least 2. I think it'll be maximum 2. I can't see us slipping up in 3. I can't see us slipping up 3. I mean, if we do, we don't deserve to win the league anyway. But if we slip up in 3 games, no chance there's no chance we will win the league if we slip up in 3 games. We have to.
Yeah, that's going to be hard.
I think we can only afford to slip up in 1, and that slip up can be a minimum draw, a maximum draw. It can't be a loss. It has to be a draw. I think we have to win 7 and win. I think we have to win 6 and draw 1 to win the league.
Okay,
that's my personal opinion.
Okay, yeah, well, that's fair enough. Obviously, it's exciting throughout the Premier League running. So, of course, we'll be doing more videos on all this. But yeah, that's been our predictions, and of course, let me know what you think will win the league and who you think will get the top four. Let me know, viewers, and I think we'll wrap it up there. We've been going on for quite a long time, 45 minutes, but we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much, Gary, for joining me. Where can we find you?
Thanks for having me on, mate. Yeah, I've got my Twitter, Jurgen Klopp LFC _. That's my Twitter. Just a Twitter I like to use just to check some stuff. I interact with a few people. But I've got obviously my YouTube channel up and running for next season. Finally, I've been waiting for a long time, so I've been planning a few things. I've got my YouTube channel next season, so you can go check that out when I do open it up.
All right, brilliant. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and come on, you Reds.